So you're considering making a move, or you have a family member or a loved one who's wanting to make a move to a 55 plus active adult community here in the Kansas City metropolitan area. This video is for you. I'm going to be covering the top 8 communities here in the Kansas City area. 3 of them are going to be on the Kansas side and 5 of them are going to be on the Missouri side. So you're not going to want to miss this video. Now, in the past few years, there's been quite a number of people who have wanted to live in a maintenance provided community. There's a lot of things to consider when you're moving into a 55 plus community, including all of the HOA rules that they have, and every single community is different. So when you're looking, we will need to obtain a copy of the HOA covenants and restrictions, and I can help you with that because you'll want to definitely read those restrictions so that you know exactly what you are facing when you come to a certain community. You're going to want to know what those rules are. We're going to talk about those key areas, how they will affect your lifestyle, what you can expect in the communities, and some HOA fees and all of that. And we're going to get to that right now. And if we've never met before, my name is Anita Cordell and I make videos about Kansas City, where to eat, where to sleep, where to live, where to play, recreation, and yes, I cover the weather. Now, I want to give you a personal invitation to go ahead and write in the comment section below. Your comments and questions help other viewers, and as this channel grows, then it's going to help other people who are watching videos. And if there's a subject that you want me to cover, please be sure and go ahead and ask me, and I can put that into a video in the future. And don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is going to be below in the description, as well as a link directly to my calendar so that we can schedule an appointment to talk about your real estate goals. Now, let's get to the video. That is why you're here, right? Now, as you know, there are different kinds of adult communities. My clients actually have really enjoyed not just being in a 55 plus community, but they really enjoy being in an active adult community. These are communities that are ran by an HOA, and they're communities that have even potentially a staff person who handles all the day-to-day in and outs of handling the events and what have you. And I also just want to preface that your definition of what an active adult community is probably going to be a little different than your neighbor. But all of these communities have some activities going on in there, and I definitely wanted to spotlight them. Another thing to note is that there is an assisted senior living. These are more like apartment complexes, but they have senior style lifestyle in there where you've got on-call hand, there's help involved in that, and it's just more of that apartment style. I am not going to be covering the senior assisted living in this video. There are a ton of information out there, and I can certainly point you to some people, but I'm going to be covering more along the lines of the townhomes and the duplexes and the patio villa style homes that actually are community driven versus a senior assisted living. Now, these properties are going to be covering small villas, half duplexes on up to larger style homes. So you're going to get a range in this video. And certainly these are not all of the communities that are in Kansas City, but they are a lot of them. And so if you have any questions or you want to see more communities, please reach out to us. We can certainly help. Also, just remember, I get this question once in a while. People will ask me if a 55 plus community is actually a good investment. My opinion is that it is a good investment. The baby boomers are growing and they're looking at the life expectancy to be increasing, and so these types of communities are becoming more popular. Builders actually are starting to invest in communities such as this. So in my opinion, a 55 plus community is a good investment. Also, another thing to note is that there is a difference between a 55 plus community and a maintenance provided community. Now, you would think that they're exactly the same, but they are not. A maintenance provided community doesn't have any age restrictions, so anybody can go and buy a townhome, a villa, a half duplex in those communities. It's just that it's maintenance provided. You don't have to worry about, you know, like lawn and snow and all that. But the 55 plus community also encompasses the maintenance provided, but it does have that age restriction in there. So just keep note that if you are looking for a maintenance provided community, make sure that you're reading the covenants and restrictions so that you know exactly what you're getting into, because there are communities that are popping up here in the metropolitan area that are maintenance provided, but they are not age restricted. Out of the maintenance provided communities that are in Kansas City, there is roughly 25 to 30 of the 55 plus communities, so you're definitely going to want to know what you're buying into. Now, when it comes to the 55 plus rule, basically what that means is that you have to be 55 or older in order to purchase into that community. Again, it's really important to read the HOAs because some of them are a little stricter than others, but for the most part, there needs to be at least one person on the deed that is 55 or older. Now let's get into the video. I'm going to be covering the top 8 55 plus active adult communities here in the Kansas City metropolitan area. They are in no particular order at all, but what I am going to do is divide it up by state. So as you know, Kansas City, it sits on the state line of Kansas and Missouri. And so I'm going to be covering 3 in the Kansas side and 5 on the Missouri side. The first neighborhood that I'm going to be talking about is Meadowbrook Park. It's in Prairie Village. And if you go to their website, meadowbrookpark.com, you'll be able to read a little bit more about Meadowbrook. Now, when you go to Meadowbrook Park, you're going to notice that there is actually a little section of Meadowbrook Park called Cabela. Those are condominiums that's 55 and plus. The location is about 95th and Knoll. Now, as far as these condominiums are concerned and the price points of them, you're going to be talking 1 to 1.3 million of these condominiums. What's interesting about this subdivision and why I wanted to spotlight is because these are truly luxury condominiums. There's only 6 of them so far, and the HOA on a monthly basis is $1,200. There's an elevator that will take you down to a climate-controlled garage. This community has a 3.5-mile trail. It also has a clubhouse, a swimming pool. You will be amazed at the lifestyle of Cabela and providing you with a sense of community in this small unit here. The next 55 plus active adult community on the Kansas side of the metropolitan area is the Enclave of Highland Villas. You can visit their website at enclavehv.com. It's in Leawood, Kansas, and it's about an 8-year-old community. So it's not a brand new construction community, but the properties are a little bit newer and they range in price around the mid $750s. The HOA is about $377 a month. This community had an exclusive builder. It was Willis Custom Homes. He created 3 different styles of homes. All of them were reverse story and a half. And what he did was he had them all be 2 bedrooms, 2 bath homes. The basement was not finished when people purchased them. It was an optional finish, and so there's also the option of, there have been a couple of them that have actually put elevators right inside their home. Also, a lot of people, when they would finish the basement, it's pretty common to actually see a full bathroom downstairs in the basement that was added. So sometimes you'll see a 3-bedroom, 3 full bath come up on the market, or a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath come up on the market. So there's been some expansion from that original design. This community also has a clubhouse, a swimming pool, they've got a party room, and of course, areas where you can have enough activities for the people that are in your community. The third community that I want to focus on the Kansas side when it comes to 55 plus active adult communities is called the Villas at Veterans Park. This is also a brand new construction, and there's going to be 30 buildings. Each of the units are going to be a half duplex. The price ranges from $445 all the way to $512. Also, just to make note, on the property there are about 3 apartment buildings. These apartment buildings are not age restricted. The properties are about 1,558 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and they will all have a basement. In this community, the roof is not covered in the maintenance. They've tried to make sure that the monthly payment is a little bit on the cheaper side, so it's got a great price on the monthly HOA fee, which is $295 a month. Now, due to the fact that this is a fairly new community, the events and the activities haven't yet gotten fully organized, but I do know that they've already started bingo night. They've got speakers coming in sometimes. They have card games. And I believe that they are trying to implement monthly or even weekly regular potluck meals. Also, there is a swimming pool with this community. Now on to the Missouri side. The first one is called Pickering Place. Learn more about Pickering Place at pickeringplace.org. It's in Belton, Missouri, and they range anywhere between $150,000 to low 300s. There's 158 properties in Pickering Place. They range anywhere between a single-family homes to duplexes to triplexes and even a sixplex. They range anywhere between 2 to 3 bedrooms, and most of them have a basement, but there are some that are on a slab. The HOA is $229 per month. They do have a clubhouse, and they actually have a rule where the clubhouse is alcohol and smoke-free. Even though it's a small community, they have game night, they have room where you can go and have a potluck. They even have this library room where you can go in and just enjoy the puzzles and enjoy the books that are there. Every day they have a men's pool and coffee time. They even have an exercise class. Now they don't have a pool associated with the subdivision, but they do have an exercise class. Now the second community that I want to highlight on the Missouri side that's 55 and plus is the Fountains at Raintree Lake. You can go to fountains@raintree.net and read a little bit more about it. It's in Lee Summit, and I love this community. You get all the lake access. It's such a big, huge community. There's so much to do at Raintree. You will not want to miss out on looking at this community for a 55 plus adult active community. So the price range of these is about $375 to about $525. The HOA is $645 per month, and there's 176 properties in this community. These are mostly ranch style homes. They range in square footage from about 1,500 to about 3,400 square feet, and most of them do have basements. And then as far as activities are concerned, there's a ladies' bridge night, there's bingo, there's men's breakfast. Of course, you've got the Raintree Lake and all of the social activities involved with that. In fact, they have coined the phrase neighbors being neighborly because it's such a community-driven area. In fact, they even have a silver singles group. They have a boating dock, they have putting greens, yes, they have a pool, there's lawn maintenance, of course, that's covered. And then when it comes to snow, they do have snow removal. One of their rules is that the snow has to be 3 inches or higher, which you'll find that is very common when it comes to the 55 plus or any kind of maintenance provided. They do have a minimum inch when it comes to snow removal that they will wait until it snows to get that height before they come around and do any snow removal. My next adult active community that I'm going to spotlight is in Liberty, Missouri. It is called Vintage Estate at Liberty, and it is a gated community. Price range is anywhere between $500,000 and $700,000, and the HOA is $1,186 per month. Now these properties are individual properties and they are on a slab. The square footage is anywhere between 1,600 and 2,200, and they're 2 to 3 bedrooms in style. There is a fitness center, a clubhouse, a pickleball court, and yes, even a pool. There is something though that is very unique about this, and I wanted to talk to you about it. It is actually not a standard purchase. It's not where you go and you actually purchase a property and you own that property. It's just the maintenance is provided around there. Now this is a cooperative purchase. It's not where you go in and you purchase a unit. It's actually where you share, the entire community has a share in it, and you buy it through a cooperative community. It's a not-for-profit cooperative community. Now this might not be for everyone, might not be for you, and the reason why is because it's only a partial purchase. There's actually maintenance that's not only on the outside, but maintenance on the inside. There's a vested interest in the entire community, which makes a co-op situation very, very unique, and it is not for everyone. If you want to visit their website, you can go to vintagecooperatives.com/liberty. The fourth community that's 55 and plus on the Missouri side that I'm going to spotlight is called Windmill Country Estates. It's in Peculiar, Missouri, which is very close to Belton and Raymore. The properties range anywhere between $350,000 to $500,000. The HOA is $140 a month, and there's a little more than 60 properties in this community. Now, all of these are ranch-style homes. Some of them have a 2-car garage. There is a few that have a 3-car garage. Now, when I was talking about that snow rule, this specific community has a 2-inch snow rule. So if it only snows 2 inches, they get the snow removed. Now, one of the unique things about this community is that they provide security cameras. There's a trail around the lake. There's also a lot of casual gatherings at the fire pit. If you have a hobby, then they are known for most likely you'll be able to find someone who's going to share in that same pastime with you. So it's very, very easy to get to know people. There's fishing in the pond. There's a neighborhood garden. There's a Christmas party. There's a fish fry, ladies bunco groups, ladies monthly lunch, men's weekly morning breakfast time, and there's even a men's annual meet and greet breakfast. And the last community on the Missouri side that I'm going to spotlight that's 55 plus active adult community is Alexander Creek. Alexander Creek is so lovely. It's in Raymore. The HOA is $373 quarterly, and the price range of the homes are anywhere between $300 all the way up to in the upper 400s, depending on the upgrades that you want to do. There's 187 properties in Alexander Creek. There's still new construction going on here. You can get a 2-bedroom or all the way up to a 4-bedroom. The square footage is 1165 all the way up to 2600, depending on what you want to do or any kind of improvements that you want or any additions that you want. There's also some that are on a basement, some that are on a slab. Alexander Creek does not have a swimming pool. However, it is on the south side of Kansas City, which makes it super easy and really convenient to just hop on the highway and head out to Branson or a weekend getaway to the Ozarks. And so you are close to the water despite the fact that you don't have a swimming pool there. There are also activities like quarterly men's meetings, ladies bunco, and all kinds of other activities. So you will definitely feel active in these areas. The website to Alexander Creek is alexandercreek55.com. I hope this video was informative to you. I know there's a lot to take into consideration when you are relocating or trying to decide whether or not you want to move into a 55 plus active adult community. And so I hope that this answered some questions. I know that it's a big decision as to whether or not you want to downsize or even make a lateral move into one of these communities, and so there's a lot to know, and we love helping people relocate and answer questions about that. So be sure and reach into the description and find my contact information there, or you can schedule an appointment with me. Now, YouTube is going to show you a couple of videos that you might want to watch as well, and in the meantime, be sure and go out and live your best Kansas City life.